About 3.3 American households with children under the age of 6 have lead exposure hazards, including 2.1 million low-income households. Today on City Chat. From the Department of Development Housing Division, Brittany White is here to educate us on the effects of lead poisoning and the resources the City of Columbus offers to take action. Hi, Brittany. Thank you so much for joining us on City Chat today.
Thank you for having me.
So we are talking about lead poisoning, and it's my understanding that you are the program manager of Lead Safe Columbus. Could you tell us a little bit about your role and what the City of Columbus Housing Division does and why it's so important to our residents?
Sure. So I am the Lead Safe Columbus program manager. My role is to oversee everything lead. So we do a lot of lead hazard abatement with our program for low income to moderate income property owners and homeowners. So the mission is to create decent, safe, and sanitary housing opportunities for Columbus residents. And while creating those opportunities, we help to preserve and produce housing that helps build strong, distinct, and vibrant neighborhoods.
Can you just give us some basic information, like where can lead be found and what are the negative effects of it?
Yeah, so lead can be found in many places, such as like paint, water pipes, furniture, children's toys, jewelry, makeup, and like even spices that people often ship from overseas. Specifically in the homes, it can be found in like walls, windows, window sills, and even outside in like the soil. So when someone is being exposed to lead, it can lead to like lead poisoning. And it's also important to note that there's no safe levels of lead to have in your blood.
Yeah, and and it's kind of this might sound a little like just naive to you, but in my mind, when I think about lead poisoning, I really don't think about it because it's like you can't really see it. It's like in the walls. You're like, okay, and but then we hear this constant thing about how, children are really affected by lead poisoning. Can you speak to us about the issue that lead poisoning has with children and also where we can get our children tested?
So children oftentimes get lead through indigestion, so like the hand to mouth aspect. So that's why it's important to just know about lead and the lead hazards. So for children, it can harm like their brain and nervous system, their growth and development, hearing and speech, as well as their learning and their behavior. If people are interested in getting their child tested for lead or lead poisoning, they can always contact like their healthcare provider. But if they aren't able to perform such testing, they can contact Columbus Public Health. And then the number for them is 614-724-6000. And they can just request a lead screening.
When we are talking about lead poisoning in children, we looking for like instant effects of it, or is it something that's more over time? Can you let us know?
Yeah, it's something that's more over time. There's not like an instant, oh, my child's been lead poisoned and something just
Okay.
drastically changes. It's something that you notice over time. Things happen like stomach aches, colic, diarrhea, other irritability symptoms, some kidney diseases, maybe some things with the heart. But those are also normal symptoms of other sorts of, conditions or health effects. So I think it's the best way to just remedy it if you think that you have a home, or if you have a home built before 1978,
Okay.
there's potential to have lead in it.
So, a big part of the division's initiatives in fighting lead poisoning is the Lead Safe Columbus program. And can you just share with us some of the statistics and how you guys have combated, hazardous exposures since 2016?
Yeah, so the program was designed to target landlords and homeowners with properties built before 1978 within the city limits of Columbus. And then there's also a special focus on pregnant women and children 6 and under. So since about 2016, we've completed about 267 homes for lead hazards.
Wow, that's amazing. And can you kind of walk us through that process of what you guys are doing as far as addressing the lead hazards in the room? Like, can you walk us through the process of what they would be doing?
Yeah, so once someone is determined eligible, they'll complete an application. We'll do a bunch of different risk assessments on the property. We'll do like an environment review just to see what kind of environment is surrounding the home. We also make sure like if the home is historic or not, because there's a certain way to remedy historic homes. And then once we figure out where the lead is and how much lead is in the home and what's deteriorating and can be fixed or can be remedied, we will fix those areas. So most of the lead hazards that we remedy are like windows and window sills, siding. We do we replace doors. We do painting. So those are the general areas that we cover.
Wow. And so and how much does that cost residents?
It costs residents nothing. There's a grant.
Oh wow.
So the grant allows up to $12,000 of lead hazard work. Um,
That's amazing. That's really awesome. Um, what would you say to the community as far as lead poisoning and why it's important to take action if you do have a home or suspect that you have lead poisoning?
Yeah, I would say the most important takeaway is that there's no safe level of lead. Even small amounts could lead to health harming conditions. I'm very passionate about health and the well being and livelihood of our communities for low to moderate income families and the
Yeah.
development of our children. And the Less Safe Columbus program helps provide some of our most vulnerable populations with a chance to sustain safe housing and help our children thrive.
Definitely. That's so great, Brittany. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing for the community. Thank you for all of the information.
No problem.
I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.